Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome back. I'm Jeannie and I wanted to do a twist on a classic French manicure, so I decided to try the half French tip look, and it was both easier and harder than I thought it would be. So I'll explain that once I get to that process. But of course I had to make it spring, so stick around, let's hang out and do this mani together. Nail Reserve was kind enough to send me some of their gel polishes to try out, and since I've never used them before, I thought it would be a great opportunity and just check out how beautiful these colors are. So I'll be using them in today's set because I was super excited to use them after swatching them. They were also kind enough to provide a discount code for you all, so you can use code PURPLELICIOUS to save 50% off your order of 2 products or more. And full disclosure, I will make a small commission if you do use that code, but of course you'll always get my honest opinions on the products. But before we get into the gels, I need to create my base mani first, which will be a dip powder mani using my double dipped dip liquids and powders as well. I'm going to be starting with Barely There, which is a sheer pink solid dip powder, and because of the sheerness of it, it's perfect as a base for a French manicure, or in this case, my half French manicure. So this is going to go on my middle finger and ring finger, so I'm starting with my dip base, and I'm applying a thin, even layer to my entire nail, and then I will dip into Barely There. And because it's sheer, and I do want to keep it sheer, I'm going to do 2 layers of this on both my fingers. After I dip into the powder, I want to make sure that I'm cleaning up my cuticle area using my precision tool. And you can see my nail line here, so you can see that it is a sheer pink. It's kind of like a pink glass-like color, so I really love it for these types of manis. And these sheerer colors can be a little tricky depending on the look you're going for and your skin tone. So this one I really love, but it probably is a little too pink for my skin tone, but I love using it anyway just because it's so pretty. Finding the right nude for your skin tone can be a challenge. Like, I always seem to struggle with that just because I'm looking for something in particular, but I don't know what that something in particular is. But I know that, like, if something is brown or tan, I just don't like that against my skin tone. A lot of pinks are too pink, and then I don't like peach against my skin tone, so I always look for that like tannish, pinkish, little purplish undertone type color. And you know, companies can't make like 100+ different skin tones because everyone's got like different undertones, and it's really hard. So I know they try to make, you know, like probably the 80-20 rule of what works for most. So it's always kind of a struggle. And especially now, I have a little bit of a tan from when I went to Jamaica a few weeks ago. So now colors look different than they did before. So it's always one of those things where I'm always looking for the perfect nude color, but there are colors that I do really enjoy that I wouldn't call them my perfect nude. I don't know if I've found that yet, but there are colors that I enjoy using as nudes, if that makes sense. But anyway, I'm going to finish up my second layer of Barely There, and because it's the only solid that I'm going to use, I'm going to go ahead and cap it in clear, activate, and then I will get into Aqua Mist. After I have Barely There activated, I'm going to move on to Aqua Mist, which is a beautiful sheer aqua color with chameleon slash aurora flakies. Wait till you see it in action. It is just so beautiful. So at the time I am doing this voiceover, it is still available. I'm not sure. Hopefully it'll still be available by the time I upload this video. And if it is, I would suggest you run and get it because this is limited edition, one batch only. So for each month, Tracy, the owner of Dipp'd, works with whoever's ambassador's birthday is that month and creates a color for the birthday. So this is the March ambassador birthday dip powder, and it is just so beautiful, and I'm so glad they created this. I'm actually excited because my birthday's in May, and there are 2 other ambassadors whose birthdays in May. So it'll be interesting to see what Tracy does with 3 people's different ideas to create one birthday dip powder. But regardless, go run and get this. You won't regret it. If you do decide to do a little bit of shopping, I do have an ambassador code that you can use. You can use code Purplicious18 to save 18% off your orders. It is a multi-use code, so it is not one time only, but there are some exclusions like bundles, already discounted things, accessories, things like that. And it is just a discount code for you. I don't make any commissions off of it. I'm just sharing the code if you want to save a little money. Invincible. I can't believe I spilled my Aqua Mist, but I was able to save most of it, so I went ahead and capped in clear, activated, filed, and buffed off camera. So now we're going to get into the nail art. So I am using the gels from Nail Reserve. So the first one is Happy Birthday. So Aqua Mist is what really inspired my mani, but I thought Happy Birthday, even though it's like a minty color, would go perfect with it. So I'm just putting a little bit of that on my resin palette because I'm going to use a gel art liner to apply it for my half French tip. So what I'm starting off with is I want to kind of find the middle of my nail, and I'm going to draw a line down from the top of my free edge down towards the actual free edge, so where I want that French tip to be. So I'm kind of visualizing it, and I had a hard time because I always can never find the middle of my nail. It's always off center. And then once I've got that line where I want my French tip to start from the side, I'm going to try to draw like a curve downwards towards that center line. So I think this is the hard part because it's something easy of like drawing lines, but actually finding like the right angles and figuring out like how deep you want to go, how wide you want to go. That's the really hard part. But I kind of get a feel for where I want it to be. And then once I've got those lines, I'm going to go ahead and take the liner and fill in that area, which I should have just used the brush in the bottle instead of using my liner, because it did take a little bit longer to use a smaller liner brush to fill that in, but I didn't want to risk going outside of those lines. So you can kind of maybe see like where I'm doing like that half French tip look, to where like if I completed it, it would be like a full French tip just using the gel. But I want to make sure like everything is even, and you can kind of see here that the gel is leveling as I'm applying it. So it looks a little streaky because I'm using the liner, but then it kind of levels out as it sits for a few seconds. So I really like that about these gels. And let me tell you, I haven't used Nail Reserve before. I've seen others use it. I've been curious about it, but when I swatched them, they swatched so beautifully. I was so impressed with them. So I'm just doing it for nail art in this mani, but they were so easy to use, especially in the swatches. So I'm really excited about these gels. They had a great opacity to them. They applied smoothly. They self-leveled. So definitely no complaints from the Nail Reserve gels, and I would definitely get more of these because I really enjoyed using them. Because Barely There is a sheer color, you can sort of see my natural nail line underneath, and that's really my guide for creating this half French line. The only thing it doesn't help me with is finding the middle of my nail, which I feel like for my ring finger, I went a little bit too far, so it's a little bit past my midway point, but I kind of leave it as is. But as far as like the curve of the French nail line, that's when I use my natural nail line to help guide me. So you may have noticed I created a dot at the sidewall of my nail, and that's where I want the French line to start. So I'm just working on connecting the dot to the top of that middle line to create that half French tip. And then I will work on filling in that area with the Happy Birthday, I believe is the color. At this point, the gels are uncured, so I want to do a little bit of cleanup. So I've got my cleanup brush and a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. I don't want too much. And I'm going to work on cleaning up that smile line. I want to make it a little deeper, and I want to crisp up the lines because they weren't really crisp with the liner that I used. So it's just a little bit of cleanup, and that's the advantage of using gels, is you have that time to clean up as long as you don't cure them. So once I clean up that a little bit, make my lines a little bit crisper, I will then cure them for 30 seconds. I went ahead and cured my first layer for 30 seconds, and I decided I wanted to go in with a second layer of Happy Birthday. Now, I will say this though, when I was doing the swatching using my swatch stick and just the brush bottle, I found that I got good opaqueness from my first layer. I probably didn't need a second layer, but I think because I used the liner brush, I didn't get as good of coverage, which is why I decided to do a second layer. So, I mean, I can't really say for sure, but I feel like if I would have used the brush bottle to fill in my area, I probably would have gotten better coverage. I may not have needed that second layer, but no big deal. I'm going to go in, fill everything in, and do a little bit cleanup as well, and then I will cure it for another 30 seconds. Invincible. I went ahead and cured my second layer, so the next color I'm going to be using is Firefly, because who doesn't like a little bit of glitter? And oh my goodness, this is so gorgeous and I had to use it. So it is this silver hollow glitter and it is just so beautiful. The sparkle in here is unreal and I don't feel like the video fully captured it. You just have to see the hollow in person. It is so pretty. So I'm just going to use that to outline that half French tip, and I think I do 2 layers of this as well, because like I said, I get less opaqueness using my liner brush than if I were to just like paint it on straight using the brush that's in the bottle. After that, I could have just left my nails as is and top coated, but I wanted to use as many of the pretty colors as possible and I wanted to make it a little bit more springy. So I decided to use some more gels to create just a couple flowers on each nail. So this pink that I'm using is no strings attached, and then next I'll use Breaking News, which is a light purple. These are so beautiful and so springy. So I'm just going to create, you know, just my usual dot flowers. You've seen me do it a million times. I'm sure you've seen a bunch of other people do it a million times as well. So I won't really talk you through it, but I'm just going to create a flower each on each nail. Before I go in with my gel top coat, I need to apply a layer of gel base first. So I'll apply my gel base, cure that for 30 seconds, and then I will go in with my gel top coat. These are both the double dipped Hema free formulas, so the gel base and gel top coat. And the reason I do my gel base first is because the dip pattern nails are smooth. So if I applied gel top coat directly on top, it would peel off. So it needs something tacky to adhere to, which is what my gel base gives it. I could have just used dip top coat instead, but I don't know. I guess I was just in a gel top coat mood. I tend to go back and forth on like what I feel like using, but maybe just because I was using gels, I figured I would finish it out with gel. And this formula I'm using is the Ultra Shine formula, which is so shiny. I love using it. This is self-leveling, but after I apply it, I do turn my hand upside down for like 5 to 10 seconds just to help it level a little bit more, and then I'll give it a full cure for 60 seconds. As always, I'm going to finish off my mani by rehydrating my cuticles with my Scales of Mermaid Cuticle Balm. This is in the scent Don't Be a Prick, and unfortunately this is a previous limited edition scent, so it's no longer available. Hopefully it'll be available to vote on in the next vault because this one is so good. I don't really know how to describe it. It's like a light floral scent, but it's super fresh. And I don't even know if floral is the right way to describe it. I can just say it's just such a fresh scent that I love this, and it's perfect for the summertime. So that pretty much wraps up today's video. I wanted to try something a little bit different. So I've never done a French tip before using gels. I've only done it using my dip powder. So I don't know what compelled me to do like a half French tip instead of like a regular full French tip. But either way, like I said, it was easier and harder than I thought it would be. But overall, I'm happy with the results. I think, outlining it with the Firefly, with the glitter helped a lot, and then adding some flowers. But it was fun to do, and I have to tell you, I really enjoyed using these Nail Reserve gels. So I will definitely be getting more of them. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue creating content like this, and also helps YouTube recommend me to others, which helps grow my channel. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I upload content every Monday and Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!